cult members, and welcome to the Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
And welcome to our new series called Now We Know, where we go back and we watch old trailers and see if they tell us anything about the movie, if they hold up, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And we started with the MCU. We have just gotten done with Phase 1, and now we're rolling into Phase 2. And the first one in Phase 2 is Ironman 3.
The first one.
First one
in
is
Phase 2.
2 is 3. Very confusing. But this is directed by Shane Black. It's the first Iron Man not done by Jon Favreau. I think he was working on Jungle Book.
Yeah, I think so.
What ended up happening, and this is the one that everybody like. It's a great Shane Black movie, but it's not really a good MCU movie. This one never got me as much as.
Yeah. I mean, but it does advance the story.
It does advance the story. So here we go. Here's our trailer reaction to Iron Man 3. 3, and go. Again with the preview appropriate for all audiences. It's Apocalypse Now.
Yep.
I build neat stuff. I got a great girl. And occasionally save the world.
Sometimes.
So why can't I sleep?
Because you went through a thing.
You elected me on a single platform. I will defend this country at all costs. The Mandarin must be stopped.
You don't know who I am. You'll never see me coming.
Couple rings.
What are you going to do about these attacks?
The whole world's gonna be watching.
The question, where is Tony Stark?
Things are different now. I have to protect the one thing that I can't live without. That's you. Mr. Stark.
Today is the first day of what's left of your life.
Not the face, not the face. On May 3rd, not this year.
The choice. Do you want an empty life or a meaningful death?
You're not a man. You're nothing more than a maniac. I'm not afraid of you. No politics here. Just good old-fashioned revenge. We do need backup.
That's your department.
I thought that was yours.
Look back up. A suit of armor around the world.
Here's my
We'll get
voice.
to that.
It's kind of like the proto Hulkbuster.
It is the kind of the proto Hulkbuster. Wow, that's very different than the movie.
Yes. They show you a lot.
They do.
I mean, except for spoilers, the actual fact that he isn't.
The Mandarin isn't really the
but
Mandarin.
then he is.
Right.
But yeah, a ton of those scenes aren't in the movie. Like almost all the stuff with the Mandarin isn't actually in the movie.
Yeah. A lot of that is they were doing misdirect with this whole movie. Starting with the trailers, they set up the Mandarin as the big bad in this, and he is and the Ten Rings are huge Iron Man bad guys in the comics, and so everybody they're seeing this and they were super excited, and then they have the twist where it wasn't really him; it was the guy who was doing the Extremists and Guy Pearce,
right?
And
until you get to the post-credit scene, and then he really was.
It's very confusing. Is it a post-credit scene or is it like a DVD extra? It might be a DVD extra.
Is it?
I know it's
Okay.
It's something different. It was something weird.
It's been a hot minute since we've actually watched this whole
Yes,
movie because,
yes.
as he said before, not necessarily our favorite, but definitely it makes you understand when Endgame and all that comes around, kind of where Tony's mindset is, and Pepper showing up in the
and the rescue
Ironman,
outfit. It's
suit.
kind of a setup for that in this movie and stuff. And the other thing too with this one was this movie is really about survivor's guilt and PTSD, and because of everything that happens with the Battle of New York and Tony going to space and trying to do the sacrifice play, and all that, and so him trying to deal with that. That's really what this movie's about. It's not, in what they show in this trailer is it's about the fight with the Mandarin, and that's not what this movie was about at all.
Right.
I mean, there is a big fight scene and stuff like that, but this movie was him just coming to grips with and learning that he is more than just the suit, which he ends up turning around and trying to teach Peter. And when we get to Homecoming,
Right. Yep.
and the little kid that's in this ends up being an Endgame at the end, which is
and there's none of that. The only thing you see from that whole thing is him standing in the snow.
Yeah, which is the whole. I mean, for me, that's what this whole story is about.
Yeah,
is that part of it, and this also sets up Ultron with the idea of a suit of armor around the world. So it's also got that kind of setup, and so there's a lot of laying of like you're saying, continuing of the story, but also like, hey, here's because what happened here's the reaction to it, which causes something that we get down to the line, and we get Ultron, and we get all the other stuff with Endgame and stuff. And so it was just I feel that this is a darker trailer in a different direction than what the movie really is. Like the movie can be dark at times, but it just feels very different than what the movie is.
Right, which probably on purpose, so you don't
with the
understand
whole,
that Guy Pearce's character is actually
is the bad guy.
Kind of, yeah.
It's interesting, and the stuff with Pepper getting kidnapped and then putting the extremists in, like that whole story arc is kind of dumb, but it gives stakes to Tony having to do stuff, and
again, it makes her showing up in the suit in Endgame makes sense, although what happens to her at the end of this movie, where she's all glowy,
fiery, demon, whatever,
phoenixy, whatever, that never happens again. So they kind of threw that out. They
kind of do some exposition at the end that he got it figured out that she wouldn't be glowy anymore. But it just I didn't that part of this story I didn't like. I liked the twist. I liked the twist that he wasn't the Mandarin and that he was just Trevor, and I mean, he was
hysterical.
It was that whole thing with him is so well done, and I'm really interested how they're going to do the 10 rings inside Shang-Chi. That's who's the big bad going to be in the Shang-Chi series of movies is going to be the 10 rings. Okay. And they've kind of hinted at 10 rings back and forth a couple different times. They really leaned into it on this one, but
and then I don't recall them showing that in the movie.
Not really.
Ever.
I mean, they do a couple of little things with the Mandarin, but it's not. This movie is not about that. Right. And so that's all just part of the misdirect. And so, other than that, the suits look awesome. The CGI looks really good. Yeah. Like all of that. Like we're to the point now where we're in the movies and the trailers where they've got everything kind of locked down visual wise, the way it looks and everything.
Yeah. So this is what, maybe 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, I don't
maybe
remember when
7,
this comes out.
Because 10 years, right? And we're now into 2. So probably 5-6 years ago. So not
movie release dates.
Yeah, where's Scott Mance when we need
Right,
him?
exactly.
So yeah, it's not so long ago that I think the CGI has changed that much. since then.
Yeah, and so I guess I don't know. I'm more. We have one more that of these trailer reactions that we're doing that I'm kind of like, but then we start getting into the ones I really are into, and so this was
you
one of those
don't
ones.
have to love every single movie in
Oh,
the MCU.
I
to
love them
the
all. I just
series.
love, like my kids. I love some more than I love others, and so that's totally okay.
How about just for different reasons?
Oh, different reasons. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So that is our thoughts on Marvel's Iron Man 3 is what the domestic trailer.
domestic
But what did you guys think? And let us know what you thought as our series continues here called Now We Know. Let us know in the comments. Be nice. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications and follow us on all the social media stuff: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We are doing. We're not in lockdown yet, but we're pretty close. So
Yes, we are
we'll be
limiting our activities to the living room, to the bedroom, to the kitchen, to the bathroom.
Yeah, pretty much is what it's down to. Sometimes on the patio. So we'll continue to be putting up more stuff like this. So please subscribe to the channel. And if we don't see you, cult members, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.